After the end of the Cold War and the Soviet Union, Turkey's basic security concern was also demised. This new international environment is just the beginning of the post-Cold War period. Supposed to inaugurate war, help Turkey forge new type of relations with new actors, new states in international politics, basically in Eurasia. The international security architecture in the world in the early years of 1990s was ruled by the new hegemons of international system. Russia, for example, in those years, in the early 1990s, in the first half of the 1990s, was nothing but a rule-abiding nation initially. The US, NATO, the EU and OSCE and the Council of Europe stamped on the new security architecture in Europe and in Eurasia in the 1990s, in early 1990s. However, the first enthusiasm on the victory of the liberal values in the international arena has withered soon. The policymakers, academicians, started to see that the world in the late 20th century and turned to be more complicated, complex, and still quite dangerous place. In addition to the conventional threats and challenges originated from the state level, the proliferation of dangerous threats and challenges in the international arena dominated even the NATO's often cited strategy concept in 2005. And the proliferation of the new insecurity provider, I call it the insecurity providers, is absolute as a consequence of more complicated world politics emerged in the late 20th century and the early years of 21st century, as the ambassador stated in his speech. With regard to the more complicated world politics and international security structure in the 2000s, I will mention three seismic shocks that have triggered all plans of international politics. And all these seismic shocks have had the capacity to change the international system structure. One is, of course, the attack to the US in 9/11 and the subsequent US invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq. The second is, of course, the Arab awakening and the consequence of the Arab awakening, the political crisis, still continuing political crisis in the Middle East, basically, including basically NATO's military intervention in Libya, which is quite important to understand the recent crisis even between Ukraine and Russia. Syrian civil war, and the recent Russian invasion and annexation of Crimea, an aggressive policy of Russia against Ukrainian exports. I would add the recent partition of Iraq, which is, I believe, partly because of the grave mistakes of American policymakers in the beginning of the 2000s. Well, as you can see, all these seismic shocks have taken place around Turkey. The picture is more complicated if we add the diversity of actors involved in the international political process. The new actors that have been in the international security area is not only the power of sovereign states, but also technical non-state organizations like paramilitary organizations that could win victory over the military of a sovereign state like Europe. And thus, the nature of conflict, international conflict, has been in the process of change. And the frontier between domestic and international wars have been quite blurred. That is seen in the case of Syria, Iraq, even in some eastern parts of Ukraine. Turkish policymakers, seeing this complicated and complex picture, have been in the, Turkish policymakers have been in these very complicated international and domestic political conditions, try to figure out some new innovative ways to handle all these new complexities of international politics, new threats and new challenges. For example, Turkey in the early years 2000 started to initiate some new policies to realize a sort of security zone around Turkish borders through promoting Turkey's social and economic integration with the neighboring countries. The economic and social integration between the Turkey and Syria, for example, in those years, had been for a while promoted by Turkish policymakers, believing that the old liberal conventional wisdom of du commerce, the soothing effect of trade, would promote regional peace and stability in the region. In a similar way, Turkey-Russia relations have a very important bilateral trade economic dimensions. Russia now is the second biggest trade partner of Turkey just after Germany. So Turkish policymakers, in addition, have pursued proactive policies to decrease the threat and challenges in the region and sustain the peace and stability basically in the Middle East, Caucasia and the Black Sea region. The political, economic and social integration refers to Syria and Iraq, the improved relation with Russia among various disagreements between these two nations, between Russia and Turkey, rapprochement with Armenia, or overall for the regional peace and stability and create a sort of security zone in the region. However, very recent three geopolitical earthquakes have put Turkey's endeavor in a difficult position. The Syrian civil war, the Russian invasion and annexation of Crimea, and recent events in Iraq and emergence of the possibility of partition of Iraq and related issues like the ethnic and sectarian division of Iraq, the question of Mosul and Kirkuk, and the possibility of wider sectarian war in the region, and the question of the independent Kurdistan in Iraq. These are the questions, the possible challenges that Turkish policymakers will face. Turkey's policies to face the problems, to handle the problems, all these complexities will be most probably within the following parameters. Turkey will continue to attach a great importance to NATO membership. NATO will continue to be the major security provider organization in the region for Turkey. This is the first. And on the other hand, Turkey will continue to is endeavored to promote the cooperation with bilateral relations with Russia. We all know Turkey has supported Ukrainian sovereignty, territorial integrity and indispensability, and never accepted Russian invasion and annexation of Crimea. Crimea is a part of Ukraine. This is officially several times declared by the Turkish policymakers, Turkish President, Turkish Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs. This is clear. And Turkey also has declared several times that Russian annexation of Crimea is against international law and regulations, and this action would jeopardize regional and international security. However, Turkey also wants to keep good relations with Russia, which is in fact a requirement of Turkey's multifocal and diversified foreign policy strategy. Therefore, while Turkey is a staunch member of NATO and a negotiated candidate for the EU, Turkey is also a dialogue partner in Shanghai Economic Cooperation. SCO, the member of Organization of Islamic Cooperation, which is the second big international organization in terms of the number of members, the member of the Turkey Council, and a member observer of African Union Organization. Turkey will continue to pursue this multifocal foreign policy, which is in fact a good chance, opportunity to strengthen the regional and international peace and security in the region and at regional and global level. As a member of NATO, dialogue partner of SCO, And member observation of African Union, Turkey's place in the world politics is quite unique. Turkey will continue to behave as security provider country in the Middle East, in Europe, Eurasia and Africa. The most challenging and difficult and bloody conflicts in the current world are now taking place along Turkey's frontiers. Although the current relation between Turkey and Syria, Bashar don't basically are good, Turkey is still the only country in the region, in the Middle East region, that could play a significant role to de-escalate the conflict in the region, in the Middle East and North Africa. This is also true not only Middle East, but also the Caucasian security, the Black Sea region, and the Balkan region, where the tension between, basically regarding the Caucasian security, the tension between Russia and Georgia, or Armenia versus Azerbaijan are quite tense, and Turkey in this environment will continue to behave as a security provider country. Well, of course, this task is not easy for Turkey. But we have to achieve this to deal with the new challenges and complexities of the new world system emerged in the late 20th century and 21st century. And while I finish my general remarks about the changing international environment and Turkish reaction to these changing international security architecture, I would thank again all organizers, you and Mr. Excellency, and to invite here. And again, I hope that this event will be a good ground for us to increase our bilateral institutional, organizational relations, and again, the society relations, including the academicians and the civil society organizations. Thank you very much again.